All About the Bear, Grizzly Cove, Book 1. Written by Bianca Dark. Narrated by Rhiannon Angell. Prologue. You want us to what? The question came from Brody, one of the highest-ranked of John's lieutenants. If he couldn't convince Brody of the genius of his idea, he'd never have a shot at convincing the rest. We're going to pretend we're an artist's colony. That's the most sensible way we can fly under the radar around here. He'd researched it, and it was the only plan that made sense for this part of the country. But none of us are artists, Brody insisted. You can use a chainsaw, can't you? He pointed at Brody, then went around the circle of his top men, who were all gathered to hear the latest mission plan. We all know Drew whittles in his spare time, and Sven can carve ice. Remember the swan he made when we were undercover as caterers that time? Tell me it's the fucking polar bear that came up with this. Peter, the Russian, shot a disgusted look at Sven, who flipped him the bird casually as he sat back to listen. Sven could always be counted on to listen first before jumping to conclusions. As alpha of this team of misfits, John had his work cut out for him, but he wouldn't have it any other way. All bear shifters, they'd bonded together over years of covert missions and top-secret assignments. And now, when the world had gone to hell and it was time to regroup, John had finally put his long-term plan into motion. He'd been quietly buying up a huge tract of land near the very tip of Washington state over the past several decades. Every spare dollar he'd ever earned had gone into the project. He considered it an investment, and now that he had finally revealed his master plan to his men, he hoped they would take a more active role in buying up the rest of the land that they needed. It was wild country with few inhabitants, yet the city wasn't too far away as the crow flies. And there were humans nearby, an Indian reservation and other coastal communities. If John and his team set up house here, they'd have to come up with a plausible cover story as to why there was suddenly a new settlement made up mostly of men in this remote area. John had plans to even out the numbers, too, but they'd have to be in residence first before he could put out the call through the shifter community to invite female bears who are looking for a change, and possibly a mate, to join them. There would probably be a few humans passing through on occasion, so they really needed that good cover story for their little community. John laid out the long-term plan.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?